Welcome to Trending Now USA, and I am Bella. Today's developing story centers around Coco Gauff, one of the fastest rising and most influential athletes in modern tennis, after she sent a strong and unexpected message that has left fans divided across social media, the tennis world, and the global sports community. The message, though brief, has sparked debates, brought forward a range of reactions, and created a wave of speculation about what exactly pushed her to speak out with such firmness. As details continue to evolve, here's the full breakdown of everything surrounding the moment, the build-up, the fan reaction, and what it could mean for her future. Coco Gauff has long carried a reputation as a thoughtful, composed, and articulate young athlete. Her ability to balance maturity with competitive fire has made her a standout figure both on and off the court. That's part of the reason why her latest statement, sent out across her digital platforms, captured so much attention almost immediately. It wasn't vague, it wasn't cryptic, and it avoided controversy in wording, but the tone communicated something unmistakably clear. She wanted to set boundaries, assert her independence, and control the narrative around her season. It was a message that pushed back against recent criticisms and commentary that had been circulating for weeks. In the days leading up to the message, conversations surrounding Coco Gauff's performance had intensified. Analysts debated her strategy, fans argued over her scheduling choices, and multiple commentaries focused on whether she was under too much pressure heading into the next stretch of tournaments. Some criticized her recent match decisions, others speculated about her coaching team, and more suggested that she was either overworked or not pushing herself enough. This type of discourse isn't new in tennis. However, for a player like Gauff, still very young yet competing at the top level, constant scrutiny can reach a boiling point. Behind the scenes, reports hinted that her team was trying to shield her from excessive negativity. Still, Gauff herself has always been direct in addressing issues when needed. Her message came after a series of interviews where she appeared noticeably more serious than usual, choosing her words carefully and staying away from any emotionally charged phrasing. That calmness made the eventual message feel even stronger. Fans who follow her closely noticed that she had been liking fewer posts online, giving shorter responses during press conferences, and showing signs of someone who wanted a break from the noise. When Coco finally spoke, the message landed immediately across platforms within seconds. She made it clear that she was focused, that she wasn't interested in the outside commentary dictating her confidence or choices, and that every decision she and her team made was calculated with purpose. She stressed the importance of athletes protecting their mental space, remaining disciplined amid distractions, and trusting their long-term plan rather than feeding into short-term noise. While she didn't call out individuals, she referenced the unnecessary conversations and outside expectations that were beginning to overshadow her preparation for the upcoming months. Her words ignited immediate reactions. Some fans praised her confidence, applauded her assertiveness, and celebrated her courage to address the situation directly instead of staying silent. These supporters rallied behind her instantly, sharing messages of encouragement, affirmations, and reminders that she has already accomplished remarkable achievements at such a young age. They argued that she had every right to control her personal narrative and step away from commentary she did not find productive. On the other hand, some fans and commentators perceive her message differently. They felt the timing was unnecessary, believing she should have remained silent or let her performance speak instead. Some even suggested she was becoming overly defensive or that the message reflected pressure getting to her. These individuals argued that criticism is part of every professional athlete's life and that responding, even calmly, shows vulnerability that analysts might exploit. The divide was immediate, with both sides passionately defending their stance. As the online debate intensified, several former players and well-known figures in the tennis community weighed in. While a few agreed that the scrutiny had become excessive, others suggested that public conversations are part of building a legend's legacy. Nevertheless, nearly all acknowledged that Gauff's transparency has always been part of her appeal. The fact that she communicates clearly and authentically has earned her respect, even from critics who disagree with her approach. Apart from the fan divide, many sports psychologists noted that the message reflects a growing trend among top athletes, prioritizing mental clarity and boundaries. They suggested that Gauff's message, intentional or not, contributes to the larger conversation about how young athletes handle pressure, how public expectations shape their mindset, and how social media amplifies everything tenfold. They argued that Gauff's openness may help shape healthier standards for future athletes navigating similarly intense environments, highlighting how boundaries serve as a tool for longevity rather than defensiveness. In examining the timeline leading up to the moment, several matches from previous weeks played a role in shaping the environment around her. She had experienced both strong wins and unexpected losses. Analysts dissected her serve, her footwork, her consistency, her scheduling choices, and even her off-court commitments. With every win, more was demanded. With every loss, questions multiplied. For a rising star who had already proven her ability to fight back from tough moments, the constant wave of commentary may have felt repetitive and draining. Her supporters insisted that the message was not about defensiveness, but clarity. They argued that Gauff's personality has always leaned toward decisiveness, and that pushing back against what she considered unfair or overwhelming. Commentary was not only valid but necessary. They emphasized that athletes deserve to express boundaries, just like anyone else, especially when social media and commentary can become suffocating. Meanwhile, the other side believed that her message would only fuel more scrutiny. They predicted that every tournament from this point onward would be viewed through the lens of the message, with analysts waiting to see whether it symbolizes a turning point in her mental game. As they put it, once a player makes a strong public statement, the pressure to follow it up increases dramatically. Regardless of interpretation, one undeniable fact is that Coco Gauff remains one of the most influential young athletes of this generation. Her ability to shape discussions, shift energy, and command attention continues to grow. She has fans worldwide, millions who follow her progress closely, and a reputation for excellence that is still developing with every season. The recent message may end up as a small footnote in her career, or it could become one of the moments that define her growth as an athlete navigating the spotlight. As reactions continue pouring in, one question stands at the center of the conversation. Why now? Why did Coco choose this particular moment to make such a strong statement? According to those familiar with athlete preparation cycles, this period marks the build-up to a crucial stage in the tennis calendar. Peak performance requires not only physical readiness, but emotional clarity. Eliminating distractions becomes critical. If Gauff believed the commentary was becoming disruptive, then sending a message now makes sense. It resets expectations, establishes boundaries, and signals that she is entering a phase where focus is the top priority. Throughout the day, fans continued sharing their thoughts. Some created compilations of her inspirational quotes over the years, reminding others that she has always been someone who speaks her truth. Others created threads analyzing the larger implications of the message for her ranking, sponsorships, and public engagement. Media outlets ran long editorials discussing how her statement reflects broader generational shifts, where young athletes are reclaiming control over their image and refusing to let outdated standards of silence dictate their emotional health. Interestingly, while the online world debated, Gauff did not offer additional elaboration. She remained silent after the initial message, which many interpreted as deliberate. Rather than engaging further or clarifying her intent, she seemed to allow the statement to stand on its own. Analysts believe this silence strengthens the message, showing that she meant what she said and did not feel obligated to justify it. The silence also intensified curiosity. Some believed she was preparing for a major match announcement. Others speculated whether this was part of a larger personal reflection period. Whatever the reason, her choice to speak once and then step back added a powerful layer of certainty to the moment. As the day progressed, various sports networks hosted panels discussing the story. Some experts argued that the divide among fans reflects the evolving expectations placed on young athletes in the age of constant digital engagement. They pointed out that the younger generation of stars, like Gauff, often face far more pressure than those who came before them. Social media amplifies every comment, every flaw, every triumph, and every mistake. According to these analysts, Gauff's message should be seen not as resistance, but as an act of self-preservation. Meanwhile, other experts argued that strong personalities inevitably polarize audiences. They suggested that this divide is a natural outcome of Gauff maturing into her role as a global sports figure. As athletes rise in status, everything they do becomes content for debate. In their view, this moment marks Gauff's transition into the next stage of her career, one where she influences narratives rather than simply reacting to them. What stands out most is how personal the conversation feels for fans. Coco Gauff isn't just a tennis player to them. She represents potential, promise, and a changing era in tennis. Many fans feel emotionally connected to her journey. They watched her breakthrough moments, her intense battles, her inspiring interviews, and her iconic victories. Because of this deep connection, her message felt personal to many, whether they agreed with it or not. As the story evolved, several celebrities and public figures added their voices. Some praised her leadership, calling her message necessary and empowering. Others encouraged her to stay focused on her path and ignore negativity. The collective support from high-profile individuals created additional interest, pushing the story into mainstream news cycles beyond the sports world. Despite all the noise, one fact remains central. Coco Gauff has always proven her ability to rise stronger after moments of tension. She has shown resilience, adaptability, and strategic brilliance throughout her career. This message, whether controversial or celebrated, appears to be part of her evolution, an athlete asserting control over her mental environment as she prepares for crucial years ahead. Looking ahead, anticipation grows for her next match. Fans wonder if the message will shift her performance, energize her confidence, or add pressure. Analysts will undoubtedly dissect every moment of her next appearance, looking for signs that connect back to her statement. The tennis world waits, watching to see whether this is simply a moment of emotional clarity or the beginning of a new, more assertive chapter in her career. While the divide among fans may persist, one thing is evident. Coco Gauff's voice carries weight. When she speaks, people listen. Her influence stretches far beyond the tennis court, shaping conversations that blend sports, mental health, public expectations, and personal boundaries. She continues to stand out not just for her athleticism, but for her willingness to express herself authentically. As discussions continue into the night, the world remains captivated by the young star who refuses to allow external pressure to shape her identity. Whether the message was meant as a simple reminder, a personal declaration, or a strategic move, it has undeniably placed Coco Gauff at the center of global attention once again. Her journey continues, and with each step, she solidifies her place among the most compelling athletes of her generation. This is Trending Now USA, and I am Bella.